On this week's ADCs of Wrestling, we give the listeners a name. That's right, you guys are going to have a name. Plus, as usual, we talk about this week in Raw and SmackDown. We got a brand new episode of Between Two Beers with Steve Austin, but first, our brand new reworked intro with 100% more Matt the Mark. Let's go.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh, hell yeah! Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by a guy I know? It's gotta, yeah. ADC! Ooh, yeah, dig it! ADC! Let me tell you something, ADC! He watches wrestling! This is awesome, Michael! Do you know your ADCs? The ADCs of wrestling!
Featuring Matt the Mark. Welcome to the ADCs of Wrestling. There you go, Matty. You made the intro. I'm your host, Andrew David Cox, the Weird Al of Wrestling, if you will. Once again, joined by my great friend and co-host, as the intro mentioned, the wonderful Matt the Mark.
Super not impressed.
Why?
You took a good thing and you just shat all over it.
No, you know, the people have answered your call. They've been tweeting me saying add Matt the Mark to the intro. Some have said don't add Matt the Mark to the intro.
One guy has said it.
A couple people
Maybe
said
two,
it.
yeah.
You kind of had to convince our boy Ed Kokosinski, I think it was.
Yeah.
Based on video game choices. But you won him over.
You can do better. You can do better.
No, I think that's fine, man. You're in the.
It's not even in the song. It's just like
featuring
right after
Matt the Mark.
Yeah,
right?
but it's after. There's no music. It's just like dead silence and then a voice.
It's cool. It's like a hip hop song. You know, you're a feature. You're featuring Jay-Z, featuring Matt the Mark. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Baloney.
Yeah. Come on. You're my artist. You know.
You can do better.
All right. I could probably do a better Jay-Z than that, too. What are we going to talk about this week? We're going to talk about SmackDown Live moving to Fox. That's a big deal. We're going to talk about this week's Raw and SmackDown action, if you can call it that. On SmackDown, you can at least. We're going to talk about what we know so far about Money in the Bank. We're going to hit on just two tweets, as per usual. And this week, a brand new episode of Between Two Beers. Oh, hell yeah.
About time.
Yeah, it's about. Well,
Been
it's
what,
about
3 weeks?
It literally is about time. I think it's sort of right on schedule.
I don't know. I actually don't know your cadence with these ones. So
no, these are what I do
whenever you get bored.
Yeah, when nothing else funny is happening. So,
when Ross shats the bed, also.
Yeah. Hey, did you have a nice long weekend? It was
I
a holiday
did.
here in Canada. Was it a holiday in the States too?
You know what? I don't even know.
I don't know either.
I don't think so because it's Victoria Day here, and you know the whole
Commonwealth
UK,
and the Queendom and the.
Yeah, so probably not. No, went up to Sauble to my uncle's cottage, and we built a 60-foot deck, which should have taken us just Saturday so we could relax Sunday, but we got some rain, so we could only get about 3 hours work in on Saturday. But, I mean, it was a huge deck.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a huge deck.
60 by 12 or something like that, but it was ridiculous. Ridiculous amount of work, but it was fun. We were outside, and good family, good friends.
Okay, well, now that I know that you just built a massive deck, you're obviously going to come help me build the thing to put my shed on.
Well, see, that's why I was saying earlier, like it would be easy to do it this way because, of course, it would be a lot smaller unless you're building a 60-foot shed. Which,
well, yeah.
I mean,
don't you want a 60-foot shed?
Yeah, but I mean, then
I think that would be bigger than
be
my
a house.
Braun Strowman would have lots of room to run around in that shed.
Tons of room. Less stairs.
I had a good weekend too, man.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Just gardening and stuff. You know, got the old backyard ready for the summertime. It's been hot as hell here.
It has. I saw the
I was
fancy
sweating my
flowers
ass
out
off
front.
just now, walking the Vanguard Dog 1.
Yeah.
The garter of the ADC compound. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I saw your fancy flowers outside. Very pretty.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Thanks.
Like your choice in pinks and whites.
Yeah, well, you know, they are what they are. Choices are choices. Colors are colors.
Yeah.
Hey, SmackDown Live. Moving to Fox for like $1 billion.
Yep.
What does this mean for the Blue Brand, Matty?
Well, it sounds like it's going to mean a few things. Possible 3 hours, but that's kind of slowed down. They haven't really hit on that. But
Pump the brakes on the 3 hours thing, Fox.
Moving to Friday night could be interesting. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt ratings. But
you're watching SmackDown Live on Fox. Just reminded me of Family Guy. All their little cut-ins.
Yeah. But you know what? 200 and some odd million a year for 5 years will... I mean, who cares what night they put it on at that point?
I guess, yeah. Reported $1 billion deal. Hey, you know what I was thinking? That really puts a gum in the works of when we do the podcast. Like the Monday, Tuesday show.
Yeah.
And then talk about it on Thursday after having some time to try to make some content on Wednesday. That makes a lot of sense. When the hell do you do the show on Friday schedule.
Well, I mean, I feel like the first week will be a little awkward because you got to kind of catch up, but you essentially just do like Friday, Monday, and then record on Wednesday or Thursday, just like we're doing.
Yeah, Wednesday
not
makes
much
more sense.
changes. It's just there's
Wednesday
a weekend
makes
in
more
between.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, I you know what? Honestly, I'd love the fact that even they split up the days by the weekend. I feel like it'll feel like less wrestling, even though it's the same amount of wrestling a week.
It will feel like less wrestling, and it's going to make a huge difference on weekends that they do pay-per-view shows, especially like the Big Four, when they have the takeover on the Saturday, the big show on the Sunday that's so long. Well, as I said, big show.
Even longer now.
And the Monday Night Raw, and then the Tuesday night, the SmackDown. It's just like so much wrestling.
Wednesday NXT, 205 Live. Yeah, it's a little cray.
It's pure insanity. So it makes sense to stagger it a little bit. I don't know if this is, I guess does that mean it's going to be taped? Because to do it live on a Friday night, doesn't that really cut into the wrestlers' actual schedules? Don't they usually have Thursdays
The travel time
off?
would be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and then like Fridays are live shows, I guess.
I don't know. They haven't really, I mean, we're still a year and a half away from this move anyway.
So they're going to cut into the live shows? Don't they do house shows on Friday nights?
I really hope that they don't go back to a tape show. I really hope.
Yeah, I think they could still do it live. If they do, they often run split shows, right? So you'll see a SmackDown episode where like Daniel Bryan's on the show, but AJ Styles is at a house show, or vice versa.
It could be as simple too, where Raw does their house shows, through the week, and then SmackDown does it a couple days after, sort of thing. So I mean, they can just kind of split. Like when Raw's on, SmackDown's doing their live shows, and when SmackDown's on, Raw's doing their house shows. So.
I mean, I guess this is their problem to figure out, not ours.
Very true.
But when it comes to hours, definitely we want to keep it at 2.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, don't go to 3 hours. Monday Night Raw this week was a perfect example.
Yeah, this week's SmackDown was a lot of fun, actually. Like, I thought it was a really good wrestling show. It was just good matches. It had a good
cadence to it, too. Like, the timing, everything was... It just felt like there was always something happening.
Yeah, there was, and it was just like a combination of fun matches that we kind of don't really get to see. They're playing like the Daniel Bryan kind of play the hits tour right now, which I really like.
Yeah,
with the fantasy matches.
Yeah, which I wrote that down. I was like, I feel like before we were so excited about all the possibilities of who Daniel Bryan could wrestle, and I mean, we're pretty well all seeing them within the first like 4 weeks, and now we got Samoa Joe next week. So
I know
it's a little weird, but also exciting. I just hope it doesn't take any like shine away from what those feuds could actually be.
I don't think so. I think they're doing it well right now. Let's talk about before we get too deep into SmackDown.
Sure.
I just wanted to talk about this kind of CM Punk speculation.
I think it's a whole lot of hubbaloo.
You think it's a whole bunch of hooey, a bunch of much ado about nothing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even if he does wrestle, like even if he is part of it, or even if he doesn't wrestle and he just has an appearance, who cares? It's not like he's coming back to WWE. He's still got a scheduled pay-per-view UFC
with
fight.
UFC, yeah, that's going to go well.
So it's not like, like who cares? I don't know. The whole CM Punk thing to me right now and this All In, I don't care. I don't know why. And I know people are losing.
You don't care about All In, period?
No, I care about All In. Okay. I don't care about CM Punk being
Cody,
involved.
Omega?
Like, no. I care about the event. It's going to be ridiculous. But the whole fact that people are getting super excited about, is CM Punk going to be involved? Who gives a shit? He's not a wrestler right now. He's a fighter. Who cares?
I think it's a big name on the card. It's a big former WWE guy, and it's a guy that has been so disillusioned with the wrestling business that people have been left to speculate whether or not he'll ever return. So if he does show up at All In, I think it's just that, people will act like, they're excited for him to be on the indies and wrestling again. But I think what people really are clinging to is that glimmer of hope that it means that one day he'll be back to wrestle a match at WrestleMania.
This guy said some shitty things about professional entertainment.
Maddie, why don't you go calm down and have a fucking Z-Pack, buddy?
He said some terrible things, and everyone's just washed it under the table like it was nothing.
He spoke honestly. He was annoyed. He was upset.
Absolutely, but don't just turn a blind eye when this guy might make an appearance at an indie show. But I don't know. I just don't care. It just doesn't matter to me. This guy said some terrible things about professional wrestling, and it doesn't matter to me that it was in the heat of a moment. He's got to do something to make me care about him again, and getting knocked out or beat up in a minute in UFC is not going to do it.
Yeah. That's interesting. I was never the world's biggest CM Punk mark, to be honest.
Neither.
But,
Me neither.
I know the guy had some obviously some great moments, like some good stuff on the mic. He had some nice matches. He's obviously a talented guy, but he was just never like my favorite. It was also a period where I just was not that into WWE. So
yeah, and same maybe, but I feel like he's more remembered for the way he left WWE than his actual tenure as a wrestler in the company.
It might have increased his legend a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyways.
Big Cass injured or what?
Yeah,
is this a work?
It actually sounds like it could be pretty serious. It could be like a new ACL injury where he could be out 6 months to a year.
He's got the knees of Kevin Nash.
But they showed him hobbling around like before a commercial break like it was a worked injury. So I'm a little confused. I don't know. I originally thought it was a work, and then it sounded like it was fairly real and serious and he was going to be out a long time. But then they showed him on crutches before a commercial break. And I was like, well, now I don't know what to think.
You know, this just led me to kind of ponder about wrestling in our fandom, and that's what I like about it so much. Like, the whole thing is that we just don't know, and like the injuries being faked and things like that. It's like, how ridiculous is pro wrestling when you think about it?
But like 20 years ago, there was no Twitter or news releases or anything about these guys getting injured. They would just disappear for 6 months, right?
Right.
So I don't know.
We had your Meltzers out there reporting for the real smart marks, and that was it.
Yeah.
By the way, I think Kevin Nash's quads were his problem, not his knees. But,
it doesn't
just
matter.
A disclaimer.
Yeah.
Okay. So last week I was saying we need a name for the listeners.
Yeah. You got some
The listeners
options.
came back with some pretty funny names,
which was pretty
guess.
cool.
It's kind of a tough one. Like ADC Nation was suggested again, even though you said you hate it for some reason.
It's not that I hate it. It just seems too easy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some people suggested the ADCers. Some guys suggested the ABCs of the ADCs.
One of my favorites,
okay.
even though it took me quite a while to figure it out, was the ADC men.
Yes.
I read it and I was like,
men.
I don't get it. But then when I said it out loud, ADC men, yes, very funny.
Right.
Actually made me laugh, but also made me feel really stupid.
In a juvenile way. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
The ADC men is not going to be a t-shirt, though, guys. So here's one. I think I might have it here.
Oh, okay.
I was texting you, and I was like, okay, this is the house that ADC built, right?
Yeah.
We're Canadian.
We are, yeah.
We like Bret Hart.
Indeed.
What if, speaking of said house built by ADC, the fans, whom often lift us up, who are often the crux of one of the most entertaining segments on the show, just 2 tweets, or just too long, or whatever we're going to call it. What if the fans were referred to as the Foundation?
You did text this to me, and I really like this one.
I think it's good. It's hard. Like, I don't know how to sign off. Be like, we'll see you next week, Foundation members. But
yeah, I'm not sure how you.
I'll figure out a way to work it in.
I mean, it's a work in progress, but I like the Foundation a lot more.
Yeah. It's like, we'll throw it out there to see what the Foundation thinks.
Especially
since throw it out to the Foundation. Let's poll the Foundation for some answers.
Yeah, I like all that. And I think it works even better like when we turn heel, so we can say that we're literally standing on top of the Foundation.
Right, because as you know, most podcasts hosts turn heel at some point.
Well, there's a couple guys out there that I'm about to turn heel on. So, yeah. Okay. No, I like the Foundation a lot.
Let us know what you think. Tweet us at ADCs of Wrestling, and let's hear from the Foundation, if that's what you guys want to be called.
Oh, see? You threw it in there. I like that. That's good. That's good.
I want to find out what the Foundation think. Let's do this, boys.
The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation.
I think it works. Is it taken? Have you heard it on another show? Let me know if the Foundation works. Speaking of the show, I want to give the members of the Foundation a little quick heads up here. I'm already using it. That we are going to be going on a 2-week hiatus. It's unfortunate, but I'm going away for a couple weeks to the UK. I'm doing a big trip with family, and it's going to be awesome for me.
What are those dates, Andrew?
So we leave on the 9th, and we come back on the 23rd. So
what you're saying is we're going to miss Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was getting to it, and you're just cutting me off here. So we're going to try to get one show in for you guys on Wednesday the 6th, which would be the last show before I go away. And then when I come back, I haven't really looked at when that would be again, but I think it just falls into a kind of a normal sked.
Yeah, and I feel like
unfortunately, we're going to miss Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do what I can on vacay to try to keep up with stuff just on YouTube, because WWE puts a lot of stuff on the YouTube channel. I'm sure there's probably less than legal means I could use to find Money in the Bank and kind of tweet along and give you guys my thoughts on it.
I'll give you my network login.
Sure.
Easy.
Oh, yeah, well, I have the network, so I don't need less than legal means.
Do you have the online network login, though? Or
yes.
do you have just
I do.
the cable network? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And in Canada, we get both. So
it actually probably won't be that big of an issue for you.
No, it's really not. Now that I thought about it, it's like, oh, yeah.
Enough.
I kind of have the WWE network everywhere I go.
You will be able to watch all of the wrestling.
Yeah. I could literally watch it on the plane if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Just, blow months and months of money on data charges.
Yeah. Yeah, the wife would love that. I think on the 6th, though, being the last show before you come back, we should do our Money in the Bank predictions.
Maybe. If the card is fully fleshed out, we can do
predictions. It's pretty well fully fleshed out now. There's already 7 matches
that's
official. True. So I feel like in the next 2 weeks, we should be able to have a full card, especially since it would be about a week and a half out from Money in the Bank. So everything will typically be set. Yeah.
So sorry, guys. I know that kind of sucks.
He's not sorry. He's literally smiling as he says this.
I am not smiling as I say it. I'm smiling now because you're punking my ass. But it just seemed like it would be hard for us to do the normal show with the normal level of quality if there's no sketches. There's no.
Yeah,
it's just not the ADCs of wrestling. If it's just like Matt the Mark and one of my friends talking about it, I
can't do the voices.
Yeah.
So without the voices in the skits and stuff like that, we're really just like any other normal
Full disclosure,
podcast,
I can't do voices either, but Steve is going away that week, and I had to make up a good story.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thanks a lot, ADC, for covering my ass.
No problem, Steve. So Steve's going to the UK. That's the truth.
Can I just before we kind of move on here, have you, or at least maybe I'll put it out there, if you're not watching NXT at all, you really probably should. If you've got a PVR or whatever, it's time to catch up because there's some pretty awesome stuff going on there.
I started watching last week, but I only got into the second episode after TakeOver.
Sure. So, I mean, you have Gargano and Ciampa. It's great. Everything is awesome, and it's going to lead over to TakeOver stipulation.
His Twitter
match.
game right now is on fire.
Yeah. And it's so good. The black card is awesome. But one of my favorite things actually on NXT right now, probably second best to Gargano and Ciampa, is Velveteen Dream and Ricochet.
Right.
They've had some ridiculous matches cut off by Lars Sullivan, and then they had a 2-on-1 handicap match last week, and it was unbelievable. And it's going to lead to this TakeOver match between Ricochet and Velveteen Dream that is just going to blow the roof off the place. If you're not watching it, make sure that you're just catching up. And then I got to throw out a little hello to not War Machine, Heavy Machinery.
Right.
They brought in War Machine, and that's great. But my God, is Heavy Machinery entertaining? That little Otis.
Otis Dozovich.
He
really
is
funny.
so friggin' entertaining. I follow him on Instagram
funny,
and stuff now, man. He is so good. They're entertaining. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say. And then Shane, there's a whole bunch of stuff on NXT. Check it out. It's so good right now. I know we don't talk about it a lot, but I wanted to bring it up because it's so good.
Now that you're done going into business for yourself, can I throw it between two beers like I was going to when
is that what you're going to do?
talking about Stone Cold?
I'm not going into business for myself. I'm going into business for NXT. It needs the recognition.
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, I'm ready for it does because you haven't seen it yet. It does. Go to between.
I just mean NXT's doing fine without you. Okay, Matt the Mark marking out.
It needs me to pump its tires. Pump its tires. Go to Steve. Go to Steve.
I definitely want to start watching more NXT. I always catch up before TakeOver. It's what I do. I'll have lots of time, I guess, on the plane if I download the episodes. Okay, that being said, Steve's back. We got episode 3 of Between Two Beers. This week, it's a little longer than normal, and I apologize for that. Our guest wasn't quite what we had hoped.
He's a rambler.
He was supposed to be here to tell us some war stories, some good stories from the road. Maybe didn't go that well, and his answers were a little long. But Steve does what he tries to, he can to try to rein him in and get the best out of him. But I don't know if it works. Here it is. It's Between Two Beers.
This is Between Two Beers. What? Oh, hell yeah. I'm Steve Austin here live from the basement of ADC, and that's the bottom floor.
That's the dumbest catchphrase ever, Steve.
Goddamn, kid. Austin 316 says I just freeloaded your ass, ADC.
Fuck you.
What? All right, we just had to do a little audio cut there so I could open up a can of whoop ass on ADC. Now we got a hellacious guest for you today on Between Two Beers. Scott Hall is here to tell some stories from the road. Put your kids to bed, shit. Without further ado, here he is, Scott Hall.
Hey, yo.
Oh, hey, yo.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, Steve, I'm like really excited to be here and just tell stories from the road. You know, me and Sean and Kid, Big Kev, you know, Pac, you know,
the
Triple
Click.
H, you know, the Click.
Goddamn, Kid, it's good to have you here. Now, son, tell me what's the best damn story you could give the kid now.
I'm used to the Kid being someone else. You know?
Yeah, the Kid stole it. Yeah, I'm the Kid.
All right. I got a story, okay?
Yeah.
Back when I was doing the Razor gimmick.
Yeah, Razor Ramon.
I was all like oozing machismo, you know? I was trying to do like the Scarface thing.
The bad guy, swig a beer for the bad guy.
I was at this bar, right? And this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey, yo, Chico.
Oh, shit.
I know you're trying to be like a Cubano, and I'm going to mess you up, man.
It's all up in your grill.
So here's the deal, right? He got all up in my face, and, you know, we took it outside.
Yeah.
And then Big Kev came out.
Big Kevin Nash, yeah.
And I swear to you,
it's going to be good.
This guy just, like, looked at Kev.
Oh, man.
And he walked away. And it was like no harm, no foul.
All right. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good story, Scott.
The survey says one more great story, guy.
You have anything else from the road? Maybe something a little more salacious or something. We're trying to like spike a rating, Kid. You know what I'm saying? They're giving me the go home cue if you do another story like that,
brother. No, I got a ton of them. You know, this is one time me and Sean. We're just like hanging out backstage.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And he reaches in his bag and he's like, hey, yo, Big Scott, check this out. I got something crazy in here and it's going to mess you up.
Well, goddamn,
right?
Kid, this is nuts.
So he reached into his bag and Sean was like really nuts at this time. You know, he's doing a lot of crazy stuff. And like I said before, I'm doing the Razor Ramon gimmick, you know, so I'm oozing my
Don't really have to reskirt that territory.
You know what I'm saying? I'm out there just carving people.
Kind of feel like you're just trying to put yourself over here, Kid.
Anyway, he reached into this bag, and I thought, like, I swear I thought it was a gun.
Oh, man.
And it's
you tell me I had a gun?
I thought it was, but it was actually Pez. And let me tell you, brother, that Pez was just too sweet.
Goddamn, Kid, that's probably the worst fucking story I've ever heard. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
You know what, Steve? Like, I apologize. You know, I've changed, brother.
No, it's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'll give you another shot. You know, it's been a while since you did not shoot an interview like this. Goddamn.
I mean, not really, but
well, maybe you tell us something like sometime you were hanging out with 1, 2, 3 Kid or Triple H or something, and you guys
or Dally
actually got in like some trouble backstage or something.
All right. Say hello to the bad guy, right, Steve? You know,
fucking better.
Remember this one time, me and Kid, right?
Sean Waltman.
Yeah, we had this match on Raw. You remember that? It's like classic.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he beat me with the moonsault, and it was like he was
classic
over.
Stuff.
They were chanting 1, 2, 3. So we thought like, yo, we got to play this up, you know. So we went back, me and Kid. We talked to Vince, and we're saying, hey, this kid's over.
Goddamn, give the kids, give him a shit.
We're like, call him 1, 2, 3 Kid, and Vince is like, I love it.
What the fuck?
Hey, yo, right?
That's goddamn, Scott. Where's the story there?
Yeah, maybe I've just changed a lot, Steve. I'm sorry. You know, I've been hanging out with Jake and Dally. You know, I changed my life, and maybe my stories are cleaned up too. I don't know, bro.
Well, I guess that's it.
All right, no, Steve. You know, I got like this one other story that I told Kev.
I don't know.
He was like, Big Kev, he was like, you got to tell this one on Steve's show,
I like
brother.
the sounds of that. Let's go.
So the other day, I'm at the grocery store, and I see this girl, and she recognized the medium man, Scott Hall, and she's like, hey, yo. And I'm like, oh.
It says promise.
So she knows the catchphrase and stuff. Like,
yeah.
She starts pretending that she's got a toothpick in her mouth, and she flicks at me.
Sounds like she's feeling you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, this is going somewhere. Hey, yo.
What?
I swear to God, Steve, like right there, right in the aisle, like I couldn't believe it. She pulls out.
Oh, man.
This WWF magazine from like 1995. And on the cover is the bad guy, Razor Ramon. And I signed it.
Scott Hall, your stories are trash. This has been Between Two Beers. That was Between Two Beers. What?
Okay. Well, Scott, thanks for coming by the ADC compound.
I mean, it's good that he's changed. Like he's
No, it's
for the
definitely
better.
good. It's better. I had my worries about doing between two beers with Scott Hall, but he seemed to totally ignore anything that was going on alcohol wise. He was good,
Which is good. I mean,
but it seems like he's kind of whitewashed a few of his stories.
yeah, I'm not believing a lot of what he said. I feel like there's more to the stories.
It's like they're like the redacted versions. Like somebody just went there and took a black marker and scrubbed out all the good stuff and just wrote in like Vince said cool. And
I do love how excited Steve's. Oh, this is it. Here we go.
yeah,
Oh,
Steve
damn
was
it.
really excited.
You got me again.
Yeah. But
Get
he
me
learned his
once.
lesson.
Yeah, get me one. Shame on
You
me.
can't get a good story out of Scott Hall these days. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
How long did it take you to throw that together?
Maybe like an hour.
Unreal.
Maybe.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It just felt like it had been too long since Stone Cold Basement Steve
Yeah.
had graced us with his presence. I'm struggling this week to get through this. I'll be
Words
honest.
are tough, man. Words are tough. I get it.
Words suck. They
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know why, but I have like another cough or cold going on too in my chest, and it's just like weighing me down.
It's the nerves of going to wherever you're going.
Right,
England
yeah. Or maybe like Steve Austin just kicked my ass
be
yesterday
that.
because he did have an issue with me telling him that he had the worst catchphrase ever. So, let's talk about Raw and SmackDown. My
Sure.
notes still say from the UK because I used the template. That's not correct. Raw and SmackDown though.
Raw was in Albany, beautiful Albany.
Yeah, the crowd was good though. The Albany crowd was not bad
For a show that was terrible,
yeah.
they did a good job of trying to stay awake.
Yeah, just like me right now. So, Money in the Bank, we've got tons of new qualifiers on the men's side. Nobody.
Yeah, all of them.
Nobody qualified, but the main storyline on SmackDown, and I want to talk more SmackDown this week than Raw because SmackDown was pretty good, and Raw was meh. The main storyline right now is who? Wow, I'm dying. Who from the New Day is going to go to Money in the Bank?
I just hit my face on the microphone because I was laughing at you. Screwed
That's
up.
okay. I like coughed up half a lung the first time I tried to say who.
We are a mess today. I really like what they were doing. I'll be honest. I was really hoping for a reveal, obviously, as most people were. But I also do like that they delayed it a little bit. It led into a match. I liked even like the segment was great, but even during the match, I liked that Woods started on commentary. Then they switched to Kofi. But the one thing I got out of this is
rounds over.
Yeah, that I loved. The one thing the Vaseline rub down. The one thing I
was
feel
that
like,
baby oil or was that syrup?
he actually hit. It was syrup.
It was syrup,
It was
right?
syrup.
With pancakes
It was
that
like
they
an
poured all
Aunt
over
Jemima.
Big E.
Yeah.
That's gross.
And then the Vaseline on the face. But I think the one thing I'm getting out of this is the way they were talking during the commentary. I feel like this is leading to some sort of conflict within the New Day ranks.
I think it's exactly what we were talking about last week. I think it's going to work well. When they started getting into it with Miz, I was like, oh, is this going to be exactly what we kind of fantasy booked last week? Where they're like, oh, it should be E. And then Xavier's like, well, hold on. Like, I've kind of done the legwork here to get us to this point. So,
but I like the way they
works.
pumped each other up there. Like,
yeah.
Woods said E, and then E said Kofi, and Kofi said, like, I like the way they did that. So it's kind of a slow burn to it.
If they do it, it's a good way
to
to start it in Act 1 with them kind of being unified. And you can see exactly just how far they fell from all being on the same page like that. So it works. It makes sense.
Here's maybe a little fantasy booking on this. Do you think they kind of dick it around for a couple weeks to the point that Paige is like, you know what, screw it, if you're not going to pick, the three of you are going to have a match?
That'd be good.
I feel like it would be interesting to have a three-way between.
If you're going to giggle every time, you say three-way, then we pretty much have to stop doing a wrestling pod right now.
A triple threat match between Big E, Kofi, and Woods. I think that would be a really cool idea.
You giggling little schoolgirl, you.
And before I even said it, it was in my head, and I started to laugh, but it still came out. Anyways, you can move on from this, or give your piece. I don't know.
You're so giddy about it.
Three-way.
Big E versus Miz was a pretty fun match. Big E's awesome, man. He really is. I can't believe the way he throws his entire body weight at the people on the apron like that. That splash he does.
Hardest part of the ring, man.
Yeah. Did you know that the apron's the hardest part of the ring, Matty? They use that part of the ring to reinforce the entire structure, Maddie.
Yeah,
you don't want to get hit there.
There's no way that splash feels good. There's just no way.
No, there's not. Or the dive through the ropes. He's just a big hunk of man meat throwing himself around out there.
He's very agile.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're still all just waiting for that. Singles push. Also, Kofi jumping off of Cesaro. That was some fun shit.
Yeah, I do. And I like the way the bar kind of interrupted. I don't know where they go with the bar. I don't know. But I like that the Miz got the win by it.
Sure. Miz is just there kind of to play his part in stirring things up. So him getting a win, it kind of retains his whole reputation. He gets to brag about something, and then it keeps him whole, if you will.
I did like at the beginning of Miz TV how he's just like, I can get you guys to say anything. He had them chanting 3 or 4 different things. Are
you excited for his new docudrama, aka reality show?
I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, my wife will, I bet. Barbie's going to watch it for sure.
I don't watch like Total Bellas and Total Divas and stuff. I've seen a few episodes.
I actually watched the premiere last night with Barb while we were eating dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool to see a different side of them, but I also feel like they're just playing another character of a character. So
I know.
It's not like it's reality. There's still something like they're playing their characters, but playing characters on a reality show.
These are people who make their entire living working people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and they're trying to act naturally as possible. Now, they come across as pretty damn natural on the reality show compared to what you see
for sure
on like a worked promo. It's not the same thing, but you got anything you see on E! Network or Bravo or whatever, you obviously have to take with the massive grain of salt. So,
but there are some cool moments where you get to see some behind the scenes stuff, like especially with Daniel Bryan and Brie and the birdie, the new baby, and all that fun stuff.
Birdie B's definitely cutie.
Yeah, 100%. So that sort of stuff's pretty cool. But
Barbie is 100% convinced that John and Nikki were working people. So maybe someday I should have her sit in as like a special,
absolutely
Total Divas correspondent.
We should have a reality TV side of this podcast.
Yeah, Total Divas with Barbie.
Yeah, I like it. I like that idea. But yeah, no, that John Cena Nikki stuff, complete work. And now Nikki's trying to say, no, it's not a work, but everyone else is coming out basically saying like, no, okay, just let it happen.
I think when we
ratings are shit anyway. Just
when we come back from the UK, when I've had weeks to convince my wife it's actually not a terrible idea, we'll have total Barbie segments.
I like it.
I could just record them at some time, like some nondescript moment in the week, and just tack it on the end of the show or something.
Yes.
It'd be kind of funny.
I like it, like a little 3-minute segment.
Yeah,
it's like between two beers, but it's total Barbies.
Yeah,
or whatever you want to call it.
My wife's pretty funny, so it might actually work really well. The women's side, excuse me for being totally gross and just like hacking.
You have water.
Nasty. I do have water. I do have water.
Not the spray bottle for the dog. Yeah.
I don't have a spray bottle for my dog who just keeps licking his butt while we record the podcast. That's not happening at all.
Oh, God. Why is he licking? Oh, he's kissing your face now. That's weird.
No, he's not. Stop painting a mental picture that's not happening.
Anyways,
hey, we should probably talk about Money in the Bank. This week's episode is like not about wrestling at all so far.
Yeah, a little bit.
Natalia, she qualified.
Yeah,
got a big win against the members of the Riot Squad, who are obviously jobbers extraordinaire on
That's
Raw.
Okay.
And your girl Dana got some TV time. So.
She did. She got in a wrestling match. Don't you know?
Yeah. Apparently she's still on the roster.
She's gonna win. She's gonna win next week. I'm telling you. She's gonna win. I mean, it could be Sasha Bailey or all the other women who are above her, but
7 women in a match.
She's gonna win.
Why don't they just cut out the middleman and just put a ladder in the middle of the ring and just be like, we're just having Money in the Bank right now?
Also, why don't the women on SmackDown also have an opportunity to be in this last chance?
I don't know.
Match. It just seems weird. I
guess it's based on math. Like
what math?
Well, you know, this week they had
women.
Naomi and Lana both qualified this week.
Oh, right. Yeah. So they actually need one more Raw
Which is kind of telling because...
Well, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
Yeah, well, no, it makes sense because there was only one Raw spot left.
Yes, that's
and there
exactly
were
why.
2 SmackDown spots left or whatever. So
I'm an idiot.
You are an idiot.
Yeah.
So is Coach, according to Corey Graves and Michael Cole, because he's just getting shit on every week now. What do you think of them just kind of using that one chair? Like if Booker's here or Coach is here, Corey Graves and Michael Cole are just going to gang up on the guy. I almost feel bad for him.
I don't know. Like he knows it's coming. It's a part of the show. I don't know. I'm fine with it. Sometimes I feel like it's a little much, but also there are other times where I literally laugh out loud.
I know, me too. Sometimes it feels mean.
A little bit.
But like What was it he said in this match? He's like, it's like 2 on 1 on 1. And then Corey Graves is like, no, that literally doesn't make sense, coach. And then Michael Cole's like, I got to laugh because it doesn't. That makes no sense. But he kind of redeemed himself later because it still sort of worked out that the Riot Squad were together and the other two were kind of on their own. So he kind of redeemed himself. But man, did they crap all over him for it. Poor coach.
I don't know. I don't feel that bad for him. He gets paid a lot of money to sit on TV and
that's true.
Take a fake lashing.
Yeah. And speaking of coach, his 1 word of the hour thing, that has go away heat with me. Like that is so annoying to me. I don't know what it is. It's just like, by the way, guys, it's the first of the hour, so I'm going to come up with my 1 word. My 1 word is interrupt because Steph just interrupted Roman. And I'm like, what the fuck, Merritt? What is that contributing to my show right now that you're like, oh, interrupt is the big theme right now. Somebody gets interrupted on Raw like every 30 minutes.
Every segment. Every segment. Something happens. Someone gets interrupted and a match just starts.
I hate that stupid 1 more thing. Coach, you know what? You deserve all your tongue lashings. You stupid idiot. Coach is a moron, and a 1 word thing is the worst thing I've ever heard. Ball game.
I do like that Natalia's in it. Do you think she wins? Just kind of going by your note here. Do you think she wins?
I think it's a good bet that Natalya could walk away with it, and then Ronda could win the title from Nia Jax.
Yeah.
And you could have kind of the tension there between like the 2 friends. And it's an easy way to maybe turn Natty heel. But I also wanted to ask if you think that maybe that they're actually heading towards Ronda versus Steph at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean,
or is that played out?
I think it's played out. I mean, they could, but like the Ronda and Steph thing goes way back to WrestleMania 30?
31.
Was it 31?
Yeah.
I don't even
WrestleMania
remember.
play button.
Yeah, so
a SIBO.
Yeah,
Top Turnbuckle used to call it.
So I can't, like, I think we're kind of over that, and I think this segment between Ronda and Steph this week was the point to say, like, no, this is done. We've had our match now. You're part of WWE, and you're now moving on to face someone else.
Yeah.
I don't think it goes to Ronda and Steph. I think your fantasy booking there of Natty winning the briefcase. I don't know if Ronda's going to beat Nia at Money in the Bank, but
Natty is like the big show of the women's division, so she could easily go heel anytime.
And that's what
goes back and forth.
That's what I think. I feel like Nia could win, however heel way she does it or whatever, against Ronda. Then I could see Natty, taking the title and then turning heel on Ronda, be like, look, I'm the best. I don't need you. Blah blah blah. So I don't know. I can see how it could play out, though.
It made sense having Steph there to kind of steer that car because...
Freaking loved it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, she's there to stir things up. But also, you've got Ronda and Nia, both of whom are not really that strong on the microphone. Yeah. Ronda kind of buried herself a little bit again this week, just coming off as a little, I don't know, just pedestrian, like high school drama class I often equate it to. It's just very...
You can tell she's
I'm going to take your arm.
Yeah. I'm going to take your title.
No, I know. I don't deserve it, but I know.
And your arm!
Yeah. She's still a little awkward, and that just comes to the territory of still being very, very green.
She hasn't really had promo work.
No.
Or at least a lot of it. I'm sure she's
she's working on it.
But she hasn't had a lot of it. But I mean, and this goes back to my whole thing however long ago it was, where her best character is herself. When she's a heel in UFC, she gave awesome promos all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if it works to have her... Like, the contract signing thing works, I guess, but if you go back to the idea of having a mouthpiece, I feel like that would be nice, like a representative there with her for this contract signing, and her just being kind of stoic, and you see her face turn from, like, casual to a scowl.
Yeah.
The more Steph starts to turn that little key in her head to, rev the engine up and be like, you know what? You should probably get into fight mode for this chick because she doesn't think that you can break her arm. I also thought it would be really funny if Kurt were the one who was there and it was just these three because it would have been such a train wreck of a segment.
Just add Kurt in.
I don't know how he would have gotten anything going, but like Ronda, Nia, for the W Women's Championship, you with the arm, and Nia's a wonderful girl, and it's going to be a great match. Everybody applaud. I don't know what he would have said.
W Women's Championship.
The Raw Women's Championship.
Oh, Kurt. Yeah, I also feel like they're gonna turn Nia heel real quick here. Just the
maybe.
way, I don't know, the way Steph kind of laid into the whole, and Nia didn't like look at Steph like she was wrong or anything like that. Just, you're smaller than her and you're new and blah, blah, blah.
It kind of felt like Steph was the heel in this whole segment, though.
She was.
And Nia was being played.
She was, but Nia didn't really react the right way if that were the case then.
No.
Because Nia kind of sat there and just looked at Ronda the whole time. So
Is Nia better as a heel right now, do you think, than a babyface? She was getting over against Alexa Bliss. People
she
were
was,
starting
but then
to cheer
they blew
for the...
it at Backlash with that scripted bull crap.
That's kind of where I was going with that, yeah. Too far gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nia could obviously play a great heel. And if you've got baby faces emerging on Raw, like if they're still going to keep like Sasha, Bayley, baby faces, Ronda's obviously a baby face, there's a lot of star power in the babyface side.
Yeah.
And then the heels, it's like Nia would be the,
Alexa's
the boss
still
heel.
here, heel Mickey.
Alexa, and yeah. There's not a lot. I guess
No.
you've got the Riot Squad still, Ruby.
Yeah, I guess they're all heels. There's 3 of them there. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. It just, for me, this whole Ronda Nia thing is a little weird. We didn't like really the way it happened. It was different, so that's not always bad. But, like, Ronda has been protected, or was protected on the UK tour. She was supposed to have all these single matches, but they put her in tag matches because she wasn't ready. And now her first singles match is a championship match. So that alone, to me, is like, I kind of hope she wins just because the whole thing kind of feels stupid. So it doesn't even matter. I don't know.
Naomi qualified on SmackDown.
She did.
Kicking DeVille right in the face
Yep.
along the way.
Yeah, pretty good one. Pretty
Forcing
stiff
DeVille.
shots.
But she's in. I kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't know.
It's fine. She's athletic. She can do some cool stuff.
Yeah, my feelings of Naomi. Wow.
I don't see her carrying the briefcase, so she's just a body.
No, and I'm just not. I don't get excited about Naomi. I find her moveset, although acrobatic,
for the
is
kids.
very weak.
She's for the kids.
She's for the kids.
Lana.
Love it. I loved this whole thing.
It was very interesting that Aiden English dropped the heel persona.
I feel like
Lana's
they
entrance.
tried that one week where Lana was like, there's something bringing you down, and realized, nope, this isn't the right direction, and they just kind of flipped it.
I hope so, because she seemed to be completely on board with this.
Yeah.
There was the Lana Day chants.
The Lana Day sign.
The Lana Day said,
She got her own song. Like he came out and did her own song.
But
Not
is
a Rusev Day
Rusev
thing.
still a heel? That's the question,
Well,
because it
we
kind of
didn't even
feels
see it,
like
right?
feels like Lana is the face, Rusev is the heel. Lana is the face,
Oh my
Rusev
God.
is the heel. Lana is the face, Rusev is the heel.
How long have you been waiting to get that out?
I wrote it down last night, and I couldn't wait to say it.
Fair enough. There's no way Rusev can be a heel if Lana's a face.
When it was Aiden and Rusev, they're like talking about how the Rolling Stones suck. They're talking about how they don't like the venues and the cities that they're in. And then Lana comes out, and Vince is like, well, God damn it, she's beautiful. The fans are going to cheer her. It's Lana Day. Ha, ha, ha. I invented that.
But, I mean,
I came up with the holiday name.
But, I mean, people have been behind her quite a bit on Twitter and social media and stuff. So it is possible.
She must have been
that
having a
they've seen
blast.
it. Oh, she looked like she legitimately was having fun.
Sure.
And like
It's been a while.
She's quite over.
Somehow she got acceptance as an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
Because Aiden English was there singing Lana Day.
Yeah. She didn't really do anything, but she didn't look bad.
She did the X Factor, which is the de facto
That's her
shitty
finisher, whatever
finisher
it's
for
called.
whenever like women
Yeah.
come in and they don't know what to give them.
I can't remember. They call it something though, don't they?
Oh, really?
I don't know. It
Simply
doesn't even
ravishing.
matter. But the one thing I did notice is she didn't come out and do that weird sexy dance on a chair like she does to her music.
No, she was
She
like
actually had
breakdancing.
fun, and yeah. So I feel like there is like there's a flip here. So maybe they've given up on Rusev and Rusev Day being a heel thing and have moved on from it. I don't know.
It makes it tough for me to picture how they would break them up unless Lana, I guess, would just stay with Rusev, because what's she going to do? Go with Aiden English and be Lana Day against like a mean Rusev who's beating up
Aiden?
Aiden's
just switching between the married couple.
That would be kind of a fun angle, I guess. Lana Day, and then
Be
Rusev
interesting.
gets jealous and beats the hell out of Aiden, and Lana kind of stays with Aiden, and they're estranged.
Maybe.
And
I don't know.
I'm getting...
It could just be that the three of them are turning face because people love them, and no matter what WWE
There was so much
does,
speculation that they're going to break up soon, though.
There was a lot, but I mean, they still could. I don't know why you would. It's one of the.
I know.
Well, I mean, on SmackDown,
It's asinine to break them up and not just try to push them as baby faces.
It just works. Don't split them up just because the crowd likes it and you
or
didn't
just because
think of it.
you think that because you think they should be a heel and God damn it, Rusev Day's not a thing.
Sometimes just give the crowd what they want. Like, keep them interested.
Sometimes you just give the crowd Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy at the end of the night for fun, and the two go out and have a kick-ass match.
What a match. It feels like they didn't slow down. It was just like top speed the whole time.
Did you like Jeff Hardy's promo before? Did you fast forward through that?
I did. I don't know, there's certain people when they talk, I don't listen because I don't want it to ruin.
It was kind of weird, but it was funny. He was just like, he just like used all these weird terms about his brain. So he's like, oh, it's all my synapses are fired up, and he's like, I'm about to fry your cortex or something like that.
Yeah, see, I fast forward through some of this stuff
because it's kind of funny.
I feel like I create my own, I don't know, persona for them in my own brain. So as soon as they start talking, I'm like, this is not who you're supposed to be.
But I think they're kind of working on what kind of persona they want Jeff to have for his promos, and I think he might just be doing kind of stuff like that, like talking about what is going to happen in your brain when you watch his matches. But he's like that
because he's clearly got a lot of brain working material happening to come up with all this scientific stuff.
What are you calling Jeff Hardy dumb?
He's been hit in the head a few times.
Well, yeah,
a few times.
He's an artsy, creative guy. He's still very smart.
Sure. What'd you think of his swanton? Because we've been talking about how he lays
just laying
those
on
in.
top of Daniel again.
Well, just the way he lays them in, but then Daniel got his knees up, and I feel like Jeff just bent in half. Like I was watching. I was like, oh.
He's like, all right, Daniel, watch out here. I'm coming now. This is gonna be one hell of a swanton. Oh, I'm broken in half.
Full weight.
You fully you put your knees into the small of my back, and I'm dead.
What did you think of Daniel Bryan kind of doing the heel thing and going after the sore leg?
I don't feel like he was doing
lock.
the heel thing. I think he was just being a predator in the ring.
You think?
And one hell.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Daniel's, like, his promos and everything lately have been awesome about how I'm just going to make you tap.
He's fantastic.
He's been super aggressive. Have you noticed, too, like, his body is different than it was before he retired. Like, he was not in the shape he's in right now.
No.
Like, he's actually cut and built.
Yeah.
Like, he's a small guy, but he's in fantastic shape right now. And he was in fine shape before, but the grueling schedule, it has a way of kind of compounding, and you sort of get a little soft sometimes when you're on the road, or like you're just not as ripped as you are when you're at peak condition. Daniel had all that time off to just work out and fester and be like, I'm coming back and I'm going to look like $1 million friggin' bucks. And he looks good right now, man.
He also, I don't know if he was before, but he also is like super vegan and grows his own garden and stuff like that.
He was that before, I think, but
maybe it's just because it wasn't like a front and center sort of thing, but he seems like super clean eating and organic and vegan, and I don't think he's vegan, but I don't even know. Doesn't matter.
Well, he used to talk about being vegan on Talking Smack because he would say he wouldn't wear leather shoes or leather belts.
So he could just be flat out vegan. So I think he's just takes care of himself better, so he's more trim. Like, he's still bulking up, he's still working his ass off, but he's trimmer than he once was.
Well, as a guy who generally follows that kind of set of rules myself, that's case in point that you can still put on size.
Absolutely.
Even if you're only eating plants. So.
Absolutely.
We should probably talk about Nakamura naming the stip.
Who?
Last man standing. Don't do that to me. You stupid idiot. I hate that shit. You stupid idiot.
Yeah, sorry.
You fucking Mark.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm taking your name out of the intro next week.
It's not even in the intro. You just said it after the song.
I'm taking it out of the extra to the intro.
No,
it's coming out of the intro extra.
You just said it monotone. It was actually better when you just introduced me after the
addition to the intro is coming out of the intro next week. And
I want to be in the intro.
You're to blame. Okay, JBL will just say, this is awesome, Maddie.
No, I don't want that.
Why?
I want in the song.
You said that is in the song.
No, in the music.
In the song, he's like, this is awesome, Maddie.
Okay.
Why not that?
Well, I thought you were saying you were going to do exactly what you did this week, but just in JBL's voice.
I'm saying in the song, JBL's like, this is awesome, Maggle. What if he just says, this is awesome, Maddie?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Because I say that all the time.
It's a little bit better.
It's a little bit better.
It's a little
How
bit
much
better.
do you need?
I would prefer the spot where I think Hulk Hogan says, I don't know.
Let me tell you something, ADC.
Yeah. And then I don't know. Either way, there's a spot right after saying it's ADC, and then let me tell you something. That's where Hogan could say like with Matt the Mark Brother or something. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, and we've gone way off the rails.
Just splice you saying that and put that in the intro.
With Matt the Mark Brother. That's my best Hogan.
You being like, oh, Matt the Mark Brother.
No, it's got to be in your
How do we have
Hogan.
so much left on this show to talk about?
We'll
This
skip
is stupid.
some. We'll skip
It's
some.
44 minutes in.
Let's talk about Nakamura.
Nothing happened this week.
Nakamura was great.
Not much to talk about. Nakamura was awesome. He was really, really entertaining. And they picked the last man standing match. Do you think this was the right choice?
I was really hoping they were going to pick something that we haven't seen in a while. Not that we see this all the time.
I just think it's the story they're telling, so it makes sense.
It makes sense. I'm not overly shocked. I was hoping for something a little more creative, but I don't know how you do that at Money in the Bank where you have 2 ladder matches. So I get it. I loved him counting out AJ at the end. I don't know what about it that I loved, but I just loved it.
I wish he took the mouthpiece out before he said last man standing. He got last man out pretty well.
Yeah, but he threw his head back and the mouth guard
standing,
fell. Yeah.
Yeah, standing. You tend to place your tongue to your teeth to say standing. Yeah. And he's like, yeah.
I thought the segment was actually pretty good. I loved the pillow fight comment as well. I love Nakamura right now. I hope he wins.
I like when he said that. And AJ's like, I don't know if the audience knows. Did you just say you have a pillow fight?
Yeah, he had to like pillow fight.
Oh, that's racist, Matty. You can't say that.
That's how we said it. That's how we said it.
Did you just say pillow fight? Just in case the audience in the back didn't hear that.
I like the segment. I enjoyed it. Shin gets my mark out moment of the week.
All right, because you kept doing that consistently.
Nope. I always forget and skip an episode here or there, but
you didn't do it last week.
I remembered it this week because I was literally laughing out loud. I was like, "This is it. This is the one."
Before we move over to the shit show that was Raw, I just wanted to make a quick note that Gallows and Anderson are #1 contenders for the Bludgeon Brothers, and it took the SmackDown Live creative team approximately one shot to make them seem like a legit badass couple of competitors, and I thought it was really cool.
I
hadn't
love
seen the
it.
Usos in a while. It was awesome.
And that's what I was just going to say. We haven't seen the Usos since I think Greatest Royal Rumble, so it's been about a month, and then they just come back and just lose. So I don't know where they go from here. Whatever. Who cares about the Usos right now? But I love that Gallows and Anderson are there. I hope they get rid of the stupid nerds thing because that's the one thing left. Like
the
they're badass.
T-shirt and the nerds.
Yeah, get rid of the nerds thing. That little persona, and they're right where we were hoping they would be.
I love Gallows' little braid beard that he's got going on right now. What a big galoob.
Whatever. I mean, that I could overlook, I suppose, but the nerds thing just...
God damn it, straight up, fuck Gallows and Anderson, Bludgeon Brothers for life. Bludgeon Brothers are the shit. What? Oh, goddamn, I'm tired.
Steve's tired because he actually
was
did
up
a show
late.
this week.
Yeah, he was late. He was up late. But yeah, no, good for them. Excited that they're relevant,
No, it was good.
I think. We'll see how quickly they lose at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see them going over, unfortunately, because they just gave the Bludgeon Brothers the titles at WrestleMania and then had them sit on the sidelines and wait for competition. Seems like a real waste.
Was it at WrestleMania? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Sorry,
they beat the New Day and the Usos.
There were so many pay-per-views there, like all at once.
They basically squashed the New Day and the Usos in like a 3-minute bathroom match.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for the best or the worst. More likely the worst. Okay, let's be honest. It was the worst thing this week, possibly in months. Let's talk about Bobby Sisters.
So I didn't watch Raw live. I never really get that opportunity, and plus, like, it's 3 hours.
Thankfully, you got to watch like a cut down version of this.
So here's the thing: I follow on Twitter just to like if anything happens, then I can tune in.
Yeah.
And as I was
Twitter
reading
was
Twitter,
irate.
oh my god, people were losing it. So naturally, I took the time to watch the entire segment, and I don't know what people are talking about. It was awesome.
Come on.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Man.
It was garbage.
I almost threw my laptop at you.
I mean, Sammy did his best to get the crowd into it.
Sammy tried to even like shush them to be like, be respectful. These are Bobby's sisters.
This is important. Yeah, no, it was. He tried everything, but I just like when they're backstage and they think of this stuff. Who's just like, this is gold.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah. I wonder that too. You know, this is the kind of stuff that makes me sit back and ponder the overall premise of pro wrestling and like my actual place in the WWE universe, and if I'm just too critical because this is the stuff that's for kids and a lot of the product is for children. Like, if you had a 10-year-old that watched this, did they think it was hilarious that these adults were dressed as ladies in makeup and pretending to be Bobby's sisters? Did you really mark out hard when Bobby came out and was like pretending to be Sammy's friend really awkwardly? Like, it's great. You couldn't have been a better friend, Sammy. This is really awesome. This is really hilarious. And then, you know, I don't know. It was so flat. And then clearly the crowd were not having it.
No, it was silent.
The way that Bobby did the thing where he tried to appeal to the audience, he'd pick up like the towel or the helmet and he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to smoke him with this. And the crowd's supposed to be like, yeah, use the helmet. The crowd they went mild.
Yeah, it was, the whole thing just didn't work. And I definitely see your point.
Sammy, I can't believe you arranged this whole thing for me. You couldn't have been a better friend. This is awesome, Sammy. Thank you so much.
Are they going with Bobby Lashley's just weird? Like, is that is he purposely
I think he
weird,
is kind of weird, and they're trying to make him. I don't know. Like, who wrote that line for him? Like, come out and act like you think Sammy's a great friend for organizing this.
He comes off weird, like a little strange. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Well, he got smoked in the head with a broom when he was a kid.
But
so.
Even when you're, he was straight up like they tried to murder him. But can you, or is it okay that they have a bunch of grown-ass men dressed as women, not in drag, dressed as women with mustaches, doing girly voice and adjusting their boobs and stuff on TV?
It felt a little weird. Okay? The boob adjusting thing was kind of weird. I think you think it too deeply.
Because I'm thinking like Halloween. I don't know. I don't think they were doing it or there was any disrespect.
No, I think the irony comes from the fact like these are clearly not Bobby's sisters.
Yeah,
like, and they were there to kick Bobby's ass too. So and they were wrestlers.
Yeah,
I don't think you can be offended by it.
No,
honestly.
I don't.
It's too much.
And I'm not sure. I did see some stuff on Twitter, and that's why I'm asking. So I was trying to view it from their point of view, and I can kind of see it because of the voice change and the boob adjusting. But at the same time, I mean, like the one guy had a mustache. Like it was very much meant to be.
That guy didn't even change his voice.
No, he didn't. He didn't at all. And they took the moves great. So I think like the beatdown and everything at the end, I think if he had avoided trying to hit them, I don't know.
I'll be honest, the thought crossed my mind for like a split second. But then I more or less just thought like this is just juvenile. This isn't offensive.
I thought it was more like high schooly, elementary school type.
Yeah, I just thought it was dumb.
And either way, it didn't work. Whether you were a kid, like I don't know.
Why was Kathy blonde?
They ran out of wigs. Natty's weave just didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not a weave.
Pretty much the first like hour of Raw was taken up by Roman Reigns and KO, and then teaming with Rollins versus KO and Jinder. I mean, it was a good match for what it's worth. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns obviously have chemistry in the ring.
Of course.
But, like, was this crowd kind of feeling Roman? Like, I felt like they were actually responding in kind to a lot of his shtick, especially with Steph just being like, if you talk to me that way, then I'm going to tear up all of your roster, because they kind of enjoyed what he did to Jinder the week before, I guess.
There was a bit of noise. I think generally there's some people out there that like Roman. And
it's
a lot
split.
of kids like him.
It's been split for a while.
But ladies I also think it works when Steph's out there, because whoever is talking to Steph is going to get cheers. It doesn't matter. I got two things out of this entire like hour. Is one, how over is Seth Rollins right now?
Yes.
The pop when his music hit, my God. Also, the second thing is Dean Ambrose close to returning? Because this is the first time we've seen Seth or Roman kind of even in the same ring together since a couple months at least. They haven't even hinted at the Shield. Is it though?
Because they've been friends.
They haven't, but when? Like, I'm trying to think back, and it's so, if it has happened, it was so minimal that I cannot remember when they were in the ring or even backstage together.
They've kept them kind of largely separate. They've been in the similar matches. Weren't they part of the Raw Gauntlet match together?
They wrestled against each other.
Yeah, they weren't together. They've kept them separate because Seth's been on this great IC title run. He's been wrestling Finn Balor for like 2 years. So, I think I kind of like the way it honestly conjured memories of like Omega Powers. Not to compare Roman to Hogan, but that is what he is right now.
Well, that's what they're hoping he is.
And Rollins is kind of that Macho Man guy, the guy with the strong work rate that's super over and popular. So it is kind of like the modern day version of that, where they're bros and you know it, whether they're together or not. They're allies. Dean Ambrose is an interesting wrinkle to throw into this thing eventually, but I really think that when he comes back, he should be a heel.
Yeah, that's assuming that they're
like I don't think
done
they
with
should
the
just
Shield
reunite
story.
the Shield as soon as he comes back. I would like to see something else.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, and really there's no indication as to how close Dean is. It just sounds like he's close.
Right.
Does close mean a month or 3 months? No one really knows.
I haven't really looked into it, but you're right. And you're bang on with the Seth thing. I definitely wanted to talk about how popular he is right now. Like the burn it down thing. When I first heard the burn it down thing, I thought it was so crappy.
Yeah, same.
And it's become a thing.
It's
like people
massive.
love the burn it down thing. And
it's probably the loudest the crowd ever gets through an entire episode of Raw.
He's on right now, man.
Yeah.
He's on. We already talked about the contract signing.
Yep.
Strowman versus Balor. Whatever. It was a fun match.
I got one thing out of this. Very easy to believe that Balor could win Money in the Bank with Strowman in the match. They had a great match.
He did lose. He did succumb to the
He did,
the
but he held
power
his
slam.
own. So if there's 6 other guys in there with him, he very easily could get up there. So I'm hanging on to your fantasy booking from a couple weeks ago, but it was a good match. I like that Balor lost because nobody should beat Strowman at all unless they're on his level. But it was a good match. Like,
Strowman just feels like he's on a weird island to me right now because he's so big and so over and so powerful that they have to keep him away from like all the main event stuff. And obviously him being in the Money in the Bank is a good way to insert him back into that. But I don't see him winning a briefcase. That's just a weird look for him to come out with like a tiny novelty briefcase for his big man hands.
There'll be some funny moments of him trying to climb the ladder and he'll look ridiculous on a tiny ladder. But there's no way he wins. It's just, I feel like this is also one of those guys where they're like, you're so over, you don't need a title or you don't need a briefcase.
Yeah, and there's that dilemma.
Then they lose him.
There's the dilemma of what the hell to do with him with a title.
Yeah.
Because who
can
him?
beat him?
The only way you can beat him is kind of screwing him out of it.
Yeah, and the only way you can beat him is Money in the Bank or Fatal 4-Way or something like that. So,
my favorite part of that match, by the way, was just Strowman destroying Elias on the stage on his way to the ring. It continues. He's not here anymore, guys. He was in Albany, so he left. He left. But I can definitely say I will not be inviting Elias here anytime soon because A, he's recovering.
Yeah.
And B, I don't need any more Strowman invasions.
True.
And I'm very scared of the outcome.
I do love the Strowman shoulder tackles. And
it's a good thing. Like he
Elias was on point again. I don't want to talk about Elias and Bobby Roode. I don't care. Elias was on point again with his comments of Albany. I love Elias.
I enjoyed the pairing of Ziggler and Gable. I kind of hope
match.
this is not finished because it seems like they've been using Gable as a guy to just go out and have a good match with somebody and then never really get his chance at revenge. Like on SmackDown, back when they were first doing this thing with Rusev and Randy Orton back in like December when the Rusev Day stuff started.
Yep.
Rusev and Gable had like an awesome little match, and he threw Gable around. He looked like a big monster. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I really want to see Rusev and Gable in a feud. But it was all just like a quick little aside and a stepping stone to Randy Orton. And I'm really hoping that that's not how they were using Gable just to get, Ziggler and Big McIntyre over. But I could totally see that being the case.
It very well could be, but it could also be, and maybe because of the beatdown afterwards, it could be something where it goes on a week or two. And this is where maybe we could see Jason Jordan come back. I don't know if you reunite American Alpha or not, but at least he could come to the defense of his friend. I don't know.
So that's exactly what I wanted to get into here. Yeah. I was going to say bring back Jason Jordan to help Chad Gable against Dolph Ziggler, or the show, if you will, and Drew McIntyre. And that's a really great way to kind of reunite a team that I don't know why they broke up in the first place.
Stupid.
And that gives you another credible tag team in a division that's kind of meh on the Raw side. And that's a good first feud, too, because obviously American Alpha are not going to slip right back into the title scene. Ziggler and McIntyre have to have an actual kind of tag team feud.
Yeah.
And then fuck with the Angle's son storyline.
Yeah.
And break them up.
Yeah.
And have him find out that it was since Triple H and Steph are kind of messing with Kurt right now. Just bring that back. Just be like, hey, we kind of screwed you up, by the way. Jason Jordan's not your son. It was Chad Gable.
All along.
And he's like, what? You sons of bitches, what?
This isn't how the WWE works.
I'm quitting the Wubby Dubby.
I feel like we exaggerate this more and more each week.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Speaking of exaggerated, also the B team won again, and they had a fantastic celebration. The only thing I have to take away from this, somehow they got new music before Ziggler and McIntyre did.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it feels like they just stole their music because if you notice, Ziggler and McIntyre didn't even have an entrance. So it didn't fit them, in my opinion. It was way too intense. It was too serious. It was like, these battle scars.
I agree.
It was so, I don't know. It was like I like the song.
It was good. I just don't know if it suits them very much.
Yeah, it felt like honestly, Bo Dallas or Curtis Axel's solo themes would have worked
been
better.
Perfect, yeah. Of all the teams that to
Bo's
pair
music
up,
would be perfect for the B team.
Yeah. Of all the teams to pair up over the last, I don't know, 2 years, and for them to finally give someone their own music, and it's Bo Dallas and Axel. Like, I mean,
just like some badass rock song.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Their celebration though was awesome.
It was funny.
I loved it, and I love that there
was
two
Axel
people.
like swimming on the announce desk.
I don't. He jumped. I don't know if he swam. I was laughing. I don't know. But then to do the Steve Austin chair down the ramp was perfect. Straddling each other. But
yeah, they're the kings of the world.
The one thing that I thought was amazing were the two people right in the front corner wearing the B team shirt that they clearly just drew on themselves as well.
They had the markers.
That has to be their merch. I don't care if you just sell a white shirt with a Sharpie and you do your own B, or if you come up with like a stock B. It's a simple plain white shirt with a drawn-on B is their merch.
You know what you do?
Don't change it.
You sell a white shirt with a Sharpie and an outline of the B.
Yeah,
and people just color it in.
That's got to be their merch. That's it. You can charge $25 or $45, whatever the hell they charge, and I would buy that shirt and I would make my own B and I'd be part of the B team. I love it.
All right, I got nothing else to say. Let's go to the foundation for just 2 tweets.
The following segment was paid for by the ADCs of wrestling.
Hey, yo. This is just 2 tweets.
Two tweets.
See what I did there?
You're really digging into that foundation.
The foundation,
I like
right?
It.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't want to dig into the foundation.
I like it. We had more than one tweet this week.
No, just 2 tweets this week.
All right.
Okay, no, we might have a few tweets this week.
We love getting these tweets, by the way. That's why we're reading more and more, because we love getting them and throwing them into the show and making the foundation feel like they're part of it.
It's called just 2 tweets because of the just
Obviously,
too sweet pun. That's fine. It doesn't have to actually mean just 2 tweets.
It started with just 2 tweets, though.
Because that's all we were getting.
Tweets. Yeah, fair enough.
We got just 2 tweets. I was like, Maddie, we got just 2 tweets this week. Oh, that's kind of a sweet nickname.
I'm assuming we're not going to read 300 tweets if we ever get to that point.
Oh, we will. We won't.
No.
At that point, we'll be like a normal show, and we'll just have to pick what ones we want to respond to.
Fair enough.
Which I actually did this week. I'll be honest. I vetted these. There's some I did not use at all. But
I haven't even looked at them yet. So
okay, we're gonna have to run through this pretty quick though.
Yeah,
because otherwise, like I said, we're gonna have to change the name to Just Too Long, and I don't want that. So, this is regarding my tweet about the B team's theme not suiting them. Jim Martin says, also, they should bring back Damian Sandow, form a stable, call themselves the Awesome Team, keep trying to refer to themselves as the A-Team, get chastised by Kurt Angle every week, piss off Miz, be confronted on pay-per-views. Hashtag, have I thought about this too much? Hashtag, just 2 tweets. Hashtag, can we hit 10 this week? That's a good goal. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, it sounds like a Raw storyline. I don't know. If you're watching Raw, it's not like it can get any
No,
worse.
you can't say A-Team. We're going to get sued. Those production trucks are worth $10 million. Call back to LeBron. Good times.
Yeah, it can't be worse than what they're doing on Raw right now. So.
Scott Debeshare at Scotty0015. Oh, by the way.
Wait, did you read the tweet?
No.
Yeah.
Do I have to read the handles or do I just read the names? Does it matter?
Read the handles, because that way if people are listening,
people
they can follow
the guy. Yeah. All right. Jim Martin is at Latuton, which
of
at
course you start with a hard one.
L-E-2-T-O-N. That's why I just didn't read it. I'm like, I don't know what that is. But our boy Scotty Debeshare, who's been listening since the Top Turnbuckle days, what up, Scotty, says, what match would you like to see Gargano and Ciampa fight in? Matt the Marquis and Andrew David Cox. I'm thinking Last Man Standing. Hashtag just 2 tweets. Hashtag stop Fight Forever chance. I guess he's not a fan of the Fight Forever chance.
Fair enough.
Well, I think it's already, is it a leak? Because it's already been announced, hasn't it? Like,
no, not officially announced.
Okay. Well, I think I know.
Or at least I'm not sure. I watched NXT last night, but they didn't
Yeah, I think at the
Unless it
NXT
leaked out
tapings,
after.
it already leaked. So I know what
Maybe.
it is. I don't know if I should spoil it for people. or
Spoil
what.
it. Let's do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I wanna
Okay,
hear it.
well, spoiler warning. Fast forward like 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. It's a Chicago street fight.
Oh, I did know that. Never mind. I did know that.
Yeah, so it's street
Sorry.
fight, which sounds a lot like their last match. Honestly, they're just going to kind of.
I don't. What was their last
again.
match? No, I don't. Was
I
it
don't remember.
false
They
count
went
anywhere?
They went like they went like 40 minutes and they just beat the hell out of each other.
Or maybe it was just a
No DQ?
I don't. Whatever.
It was Gargano's contract was on the line basically.
Yeah, I feel like we'll see maybe more weapons used because we only really saw.
Honestly, I would not be surprised to see color, the use of color in NXT for the first time.
The way they're building this feud up,
This is a blood feud.
it's got it's kind of, and it's got to have that like ultimate end to it as well.
He
And I feel
literally
like this could be
tweeted
it.
Gargano's mother on Mother's Day and said, "Hold your son because you never know what tomorrow holds."
I think because they're so close, like personally, that this feud works so
Yeah,
well with
of
little
course.
things like that. But
It always works best when people have chemistry.
it's the best
in one
feud
way
in
or
the game
another.
right now. It's by far the best feud in the game. So.
Okay, our boy Joe at Joe CS 1220 says, "Dear all, our Twitter handles, is Braun still hanging around the apartment destroying KO and company? He deserves it, he blocked me."
He blocked. Well, first I need to know why he blocked you.
Yeah, what did
say?
you do to offend the monster among us? Because he doesn't block me. In
impressive.
fact, he retweeted my video, so
Yeah.
I think I'm on good terms. So, okay, he's not here. He's
No,
gone.
He went to Albany for.
Yeah,
Raw.
he went to Albany to destroy our boy Elias.
Yeah.
But I will say this, dear Braun, if you're listening, because I know you're a big fan, that's why you started saying, "Let's go!"
Obviously.
Because obviously he's a big fan of the ADC dub. Unblock our boy Joe, okay? At Joe CS 1220, unblock him.
Unblock him.
Yeah, he's a monster among fans.
He couldn't have said. Wow, that was good. I like that.
Eddie Kokozinski at E Kokozinski. That's EKOK. See, now I gotta spell out names.
No, just
and stuff.
say it.
Just Eddie, people can search.
You can
the
search
name.
Eco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say it. Don't spell it out. Oh boy.
He says, "Would you love to see the club put on a very competitive match against Bludgeon Brothers and maybe go for a nice run? Sorry, Basement Steve. Hashtag just 2 tweets, but really just 2 hours of tweets." Steve, you want to field this one?
I think I already said fuck Gallows and Anderson, Bludgeon Brothers for life, and that's your bottom line, just like I'm in the bottom floor.
It's still a shitty catchphrase.
Yeah, it's not good. I would like to see them put on a competitive match. Like, I don't want to see them get squashed the way they did with New Day and Usos.
Yeah, you can't just keep squashing teams. You
No,
gotta
no,
have
no.
some good feuds. I would love to see
But
like a
they can't
good
win.
3-match arch.
Yeah. I'd
Or
like to
arc.
see. I'd like to see a couple months of this because I think, like, even size wise, they're on the same level. So, yeah, they're not going to win, but I don't want to see them get squashed.
It's the ultimate matchup, really, because when you think about how they dress and the stupid Comic-Con costumes they have,
Yeah.
the Bludgeon Brothers are a couple of nerds.
Oh, they got to drop the nerds thing.
They really are
I'm
just a
not
couple
okay
of
with it.
Nerds!
I apologize. Raider Max House Stark at Raider Max HS says, "I know it's only Monday, but Strowman needs a new finisher. What should it be?" Obviously, he tweeted this on Monday.
Yes.
That's the context. He said, hashtag just 2 tweets, hashtag per category, hashtag just 3 tags. I can feel this. If you don't have an answer
Go
to
ahead,
this.
go ahead.
I've always been a huge fan of just a straight up massive power bomb.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Really? I feel like I
Yes.
might have said that to you. I'm going to claim total credit for this.
No, take credit, but I was honestly thinking like just a plain old like diesel power bomb. Doesn't even have to be last ride where you lift him up. Just he's so big that the height alone would be perfect. I was thinking the exact same thing.
And they've killed that move in a way that it just never finishes matches anymore, but it still looks amazing. Like the pop-up powerbomb by KO, he's got to pop the guys up, and it's just like, okay. But like Strowman picking somebody up and just Sid Justicing them or giving them the jackknife where they basically just let go of him in the air like Kevin Nash did. Like Kevin Nash just let go of people and then pretended to throw them.
No, I was thinking the exact same thing. I like the running power slam because he is so big that his body landing on you could actually be quite devastating. But I thought the exact same thing. Like
I don't know why it just looks so soft. It looks like a cushiony landing.
Well, because so many people do it just on a regular basis. It's like, why is Bailey to belly a finisher when guys do belly to bellies all the time?
I know.
And guys
because
and
the
girls.
name's better when she does it.
Exactly. So I feel like just a flat out power, nothing fancy, just a power bomb would be super stellar.
Yeah, and you don't have to do it all the time, Braun. Maybe just add that. Maybe make it like a super finish. And give other. I do like the power slam. I didn't like it at first. It's growing on me because Braun does it. Like, he does it well.
He does.
And I like the fact that he gets to kind of run with the guy because he's a super athletic dude.
Yeah.
And it works amazingly well when he throws people through a table with it.
Yes.
But it could obviously just be a spot that he does occasionally. And
could
then
be his
powerbomb
signature
other
move.
people.
Yeah.
It's what he does to the bigger guys and the smaller dudes. He just powerbombs the shit out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was always a huge Kevin Nash mark, and for the longest time when I was a kid, I just thought a powerbomb was called a jackknife. And I didn't know that was the name of like the move, and I didn't get the Diesel reference and whatever.
But for the longest time, the powerbomb was like the most devastating move in wrestling until people started getting creative. But
like even Roman does that huge like waterfall landslide powerbomb, and he just like the sit out one, and it's always a spot. It's always
massive.
a 2 count, and it's like the best move that he does. I hate that shit. Anyway, our boy at Chaluminati _ says 2 to 5 years, Matt. Hashtag
Bring
just
it.
2 tweets.
Bring it.
He says, thank you for the shout out last week. Here's my question. Would you rather see the New Day freebird the Money in the Bank briefcase or have Finn win? He said, here's my fantasy booking. How do you slay a beast with the Demon King? I'm going to take credit. That's my fantasy booking. Okay.
Yep.
I said that first, but that's fine.
I still think that's my favorite.
We could spread
idea.
that. We could spread that theory throughout the foundation.
Yeah, I still think that's my favorite idea for Money in the Bank, especially since Finn never got a rematch. I think it's a perfect way to kind of get him back into that title picture.
I still like a heel having it, and I kind of want. I think we have to have a heel woman with the briefcase on Raw somehow, so you could have Natty and have her turn heel.
Sure.
And then I honestly would like to see Rusev with it on SmackDown.
Be great.
But as kind of as a heel.
Yeah, I don't know. SmackDown had it last year, and it got ruined with Baron Corbin and his backstage issues. So I don't know.
Do you think they put both briefcases on Raw this year though? Because the women had it on SmackDown too. They'll probably put one on each.
Yeah, but I mean, I could definitely see
Carmella just had it, so it's got to be a woman.
That's true.
Probably on Raw. When you think,
I don't know. That's interesting, actually.
Just think about it.
We got a couple weeks before our predictions come in.
Yeah,
but I still like the Finn idea because I'd love to see him get back.
I think it'd be good. It'd be good. He could kind of carry out the briefcase and just put it in front of his baller bulge. And
and I would love to
shove it
see
in the
him
camera.
cash in as the Demon King too, not as Finn Balor.
Could you imagine him just crawling to the ring as the Demon King with a briefcase,
like just in his mouth?
Just bright green toy briefcase. Sticking with Money in the Bank, Ryan Connolly at Ryan Connolly 20 says, for both Money in the Bank matches, who would benefit the most from winning this match? I think it'd be Rusev and Naomi. That's not bad. Rusev would definitely be awesome with it.
Yeah.
I don't feel Naomi as a choice. I just don't think.
No.
I don't think it does anything for her.
Not me personally. I think
it's better when it's somebody who can antagonize you with it.
Yeah, and it's funny because even Natty was just champion on SmackDown too, right? So it's kind of weird to think of her winning and then getting the Raw championship. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm going to stick with what I said before. I think Natty would benefit from it.
I think Becky, to be honest. I think Becky has fallen so far the last year that
have a baby face with it.
Yeah. I feel like you get a better pop if the baby has it. Baby face. I shouldn't say baby, but
it would be different. That'd be different. Okay.
I don't know.
I think it's Brett Clough. CLOUGH. Sorry if I said that wrong. At Green Day 41598.
Apparently Green Day 1 was taken.
Says, do you think Charlotte should win Money in the Bank and cash in on Carmella to get back at her for a little revenge? Just 2 tweets, maybe 4 tweets, however many tweets I decide to do. That's basically what it is.
No.
Feels petty. Charlotte would want to win it the other way.
Yeah, cool idea, but Charlotte doesn't like she's top of the women, right?
So she doesn't need a briefcase.
They're having a match. They're having a match at Money in the Bank, though. So it is possible that Charlotte could just win it from her. No, sorry, it's Asuka. Never mind.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think Charlotte would rather just take the belt the right way from say Asuka.
I would like to see a Charlotte Asuka title match for sure.
Yep. Tim E. Dangerously at TE Dangerously says, have you thought about calling your fans the ADCers? Well, I just kind of threw that one in there to inflate the numbers. Let's be honest. You guys are the foundation.
I've got not much to say.
But thanks for the tweet, Tim. Keep doing it. And Kevin McBride, your biggest fan, says, heel face fired. Which superstars would you pick? That's a good question.
That is a good question. I wish I had looked at this beforehand, so I could have
well,
thought
maybe
of
that
this.
the rundown's been there since last night. There, Matthew.
Heel
the
face
markiest.
fired. So is he asking like who
one
our favorite
turns heel,
heels are?
one turns face, one
turns
gets
heel?
fired? I guess. Usually, you give like 3 names and then say you have to turn one heel. You have to,
I see.
Like Mary Death Kill.
Right.
Mary F Kill.
I don't want to say heel Roman because that's just so easy.
They can be easy if you want. I'd rather
Heel
be fast.
heel Bobby Roode.
Okay.
Face. Oh, Kevin's better as of heel. Oh man, I see. The problem is I like heels so much better because they're so much angrier.
Continue.
Okay. So who did I say heel?
This is worse than me trying to pick.
I wish I had looked
field.
at this earlier, so I got to put some thought into it. Who did I say heel again?
I don't know. Man.
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode.
Face Elias, because I just think he's hilarious. And fire. I don't want to say it.
Just say it.
Breezango.
Wow. Okay.
I love them, but they're completely friggin' useless.
I'm gonna go super simple with what I think would make the most sense for the overall brand, and I will just heel Roman Reigns, face Rusev, and fire No Way Fucking Jose because I hate that guy. Thanks to all the members of Foundation who sent us the tweets this week. Just 2 tweets is always a good time. Please do your best to support us by going to iTunes and leaving us a 5-star review. Tell your friends. Help us spread the word and make the ADCs of Wrestling a bigger deal than it already is. Tweet us at ADCs of Wrestling. I'm Andrew David Cox on Twitter and Instagram. My friend Matt the Mark here is at Matt the Markiest. That's IEST. Until next week, ball game.
Peace.
Rusev is a heel, but Lana is a face. Rusev is a heel, but Lana is a face. Rusev is the heel, but Lana is a face. Rusev is a heel, but Lana is a face. Rusev is a heel, but Lana is a face. Machka!